Hi everyone, this is Casey from Talking Mandarin, and today I want to have a look at the most searched questions about China and see if I can answer some of them. First, let's see what people are searching for here in South Africa. So I'm going to type in, is China... Alright, number one, is China a developed country? Technically, China is a developing country. If you were to go to some of the big cities in China, you would say it's definitely developed, but overall it's not classified as a developed country, more of a developing country. China can differ tremendously depending on where you are. Obviously, if you're in a big city like Beijing or Shanghai, it feels very, very developed, whereas if you're out in a more rural area, it's very, very underdeveloped. Alright, so next question. Is China a first world country? Technically no. I don't really think the terms first world and third world are really used that much anymore, but no, I think China was classified as a second world country, but it's certainly not first world. Is China a democratic country? No, it is not. China is a communist country. Is China a country? Yes, China is definitely a country. Is China in Asia? Yes, definitely. Is China heavily populated? Yes, it is. It has an absolutely massive population. Beijing, I believe, is actually one of the most populated capital cities in the world as well. Is China socialist? No, it's communist. Is China democracy? No. Is China safe? Yes. China's a huge country. I haven't been to all corners of the country myself, but from my experience, it's a very, very safe country, a lot safer than here in South Africa, that's for sure. Is China a continent? No, it is a country. Alright, so out of interest, I want to have a look at Beijing. Is Beijing... Okay, let's have a look. Is Beijing safe? Yes, it is. I lived in Beijing for about 2.5 years. I walked all areas of the city at all times of night, all times of day. Never once ever had any kind of problem. Yes, Beijing is an extremely safe place. You know, as long as you just keep your wits about you, but on the whole, yeah, it's very, very safe. I felt extremely safe in Beijing, a lot safer than I felt in any other city I've ever been to. Is Beijing in China? Yes, it's the capital. Is Beijing a city? Yes, it is. Well, actually, technically, Beijing is a municipality. It's known as the capital city of China, but technically, the Beijing region is a municipality. Is Beijing a country? Nope. It's a capital of China. Is Beijing expensive? Yeah, being a capital city, it is fairly expensive, but it really depends. It's one of those cities where you can spend, you know, a ridiculous amount of money, or you can actually get away with spending relatively little. If you go there as a tourist and you've never been there before, you'll probably end up spending quite a bit. But if you know the city, or you have someone with you who knows the city, maybe a friend who's been there, you can really take advantage of all the kind of local restaurants, local places, and you can actually get away with spending quite little. The public transport in Beijing is very cheap compared to other cities, so you won't spend much on subway rides and buses and stuff, which is great, because they can actually take you everywhere. So you can save money by using public transport instead of taxis. If you're willing to eat at local restaurants, which are actually fantastic in Beijing, you know, like the small little family-run places on the side of the road, you know, and in Beijing they have restaurants everywhere, so you'll always find them. You can save a lot of money that way if you're willing to kind of give up your Western pizzas and burgers and whatnot, because you do pay quite a lot for Western-style food in Beijing. But yeah, if you're willing just to eat basic food in China, rice and meat and vegetables, that kind of thing, you know, dumplings, noodles, whatnot. Yeah, so I mean, if you're willing to kind of just eat at those local places, you can save a lot of money. You can get a big plate of rice with, like, let's say some chicken or some beef, some vegetables, boiled egg, some chili for like 15 kwai, which is about, oh, I don't even know. Let's have a look. RMB to dollar. Oops, spelled that wrong. Chinese yuan 15. $2.20 about. Yeah, you can get a big plate of rice, meat, veg, which will definitely fill you up for like $2.20. So yeah. Alright, next question. Is Beijing a province? No, it's not a province. It's a municipality. It is surrounded by Hebei, which is a province. Is Beijing the capital of China? Yes. Is Beijing polluted? Yes, unfortunately it is. The air is quite polluted in Beijing. You get kind of bad pollution in Beijing just because of its geographical location and because of the fact that there's so many factories around. If you look at Beijing on a map, you'll see that there's a lot of mountains surrounding Beijing. So Beijing is kind of in this like bowl. It has mountains sort of surrounding it. And then to the north is Mongolia, and most of Mongolia is like a desert. So what tends to happen is you get all the factory pollution and crap inside Beijing, and then you get the Mongolian desert to the north, and when the wind blows, it blows all the kind of sand and stuff from the Mongolian desert, which gets trapped in that bowl. And you get this kind of haziness in Beijing, which is really unfortunate. I remember when I was there were a couple of sandstorms because of that. But it's very rare that happens. And the good news is that the pollution is getting a lot better. The Chinese government is taking precautions, and they're really trying to get it under control. But yes, there is air pollution. If you go there for an extended period of time, invest in a good face mask. If you're there for only a couple of weeks, you probably will be fine, unless you have allergies and stuff, in which case you're probably going to want to speak to a doctor before you go or get a face mask. But as I said, I lived there for 2.5 years and I'm pretty much fine. Okay, is Beijing worth visiting? Yes, hell yes. Beijing is an amazing place. Despite the air pollution, okay, there's tons and tons of fascinating places to go. You can go to the Forbidden City, you can go to the Temple of Heaven, you can go to the Silk Market, Great Wall of China. There's various different parts of the Great Wall that you can visit. Some are very touristy, some are not. If you fancy the idea of walking along the Great Wall, you know, almost alone, you know, out in the mountains, then yes. Let's see, what else can you do? Let me just show you where to go in Beijing. So many places come up. Yeah, Forbidden City, amazing. Great Wall of China, Summer Palace, yeah, absolutely amazing. Temple of Heaven, yeah, I've been to all these places, and I can attest to their awesomeness. But again, these are like historic places. The Lama Temple, yeah, absolutely fantastic. The Hutons, Beihai Park, absolutely beautiful. Tiananmen Square, amazing place. Yeah, so I mean, there's all these amazing cultural places in Beijing and historical places. But apart from that, I mean, Beijing is a very modern, interesting city. So there's lots of other kind of stuff to do as well, not just you know, the historical, cultural stuff. You can also really kind of enjoy the you know, the modernity. There's incredible restaurants, and yeah, it's like being in a mega city, you know. It's like being in New York or like being in London or something. There's always going to be great things to do because, you know, big capital cities like that are always, you know, full of interesting things. All right, so is Beijing in Hong Kong? No, no. Hong Kong is a state within China. It's down south. Beijing's north. Hong Kong is right down south. Yeah, very, very different places. Okay, cool. Thanks for watching, guys. I think this was pretty fun, just to see what kind of questions people were searching for. Yeah, go check out the rest of my videos on YouTube, subscribe, and I will see you in a future video. Thanks for watching.